I'd like to welcome you guys to another weekly installment of Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every Wednesday morning I post a video going through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your questions will actually be featured in the video itself, and one person's question will be on the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your question down below for a chance to be featured in next week's video. And then too, if I did comment to you and say, great question, I might use this, and I didn't, please drop the question again and I'll get to it. And if it was a super long question, maybe try to shorten it up. It might have been too big to screenshot. And then too, I'm not saying I know everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out and, get a few other people's opinions. It always helps me make my final decision. And I am going to Card Party this week, so when I'm done recording this What If Wednesday, I'm going to record next week's What If Wednesday also, so that way I don't have to worry about recording something on my way home. But I am going to record following Friday, my Sunday video, and my Market Monday video at Card Party, probably just in the hotel. I might do it somewhere else, but it'd probably just be easiest in the hotel. And the reason I'm doing that is because I could pre-record it, but it's not going to be up-to-date prices, and I want to get you guys the most up-to-date, accurate prices that I possibly can. And, I could take some days off. I know a lot of those PokeTubers do, but I don't want to miss a day either, So just know if you drop any questions in today's What If Wednesday, I'm going to be a little behind, but please drop the question again, and I will eventually get to it. Once I get back and get settled, I'll do like an hour-long What If Wednesday and just answer a ton of questions. And then too, if you guys like this content, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a like. It helps out so much. And just know if you comment, I comment everybody back. Even if my comments quadruple from here, I'm still going to do that. It's the least I can do. And if you want to support more, you can now become a member. It's only 99 cents a month. I post stuff there all the time. You can check my Instagram that I just started, showing off my collection. And then my eBay store. We got 100% positive feedback with over 20,000 cards sold. And if you're going to Card Party, definitely come say what's up. I cannot wait to meet you. But all right, let's get to it. The first question, and this is a question that's on the thumbnail, is from PokeMTCG. With alt arts going wild, some of my grails are decently affordable. Charizard V and VMAX from Champion's Path. Should I buy now or keep waiting? I'm a binder collector, so I'm looking at raw and not graded. Great question. I've also been eyeing them too. I love the Charizard V from Champion's Path. I think it's the best full art shiny Charizard. I think it destroys the Hidden Fates one. And it was going down a little bit. Looks like we had a little spike back up to 170, but we got a sale here for 140 near mint, 139. Honestly, I feel like I would pay 150 for this card for a nice mint copy. I would feel comfortable paying 150. I mean, nobody's going to be opening Champion's Path. I mean, the ETBs are $100 a box, and that's like the best thing you can get for it. The other collection boxes are absolutely terrible. And same with the Pikachu. I've been waiting for that Pikachu to get below $100. It just keeps going up and down, up and down. I love the Rainbow VMAX Pikachu, and it's sweet finally getting a set with a chase card other than Charizard, and it was Pikachu. It was pretty sweet. You don't really see that many expensive Pikachus, really. I mean, the only really expensive one that I can think of that was like a chase was the Gold Star Pikachu. Otherwise, Pikachu's rather cheap. And I put some others on here. Here's the Charizard from Darkness Ablaze, the Snorlax from base set, and here's the Charizard VMAX from the Shining Fates, and here's the VMAX from Champion's Path. So his two right here were the VMAX and the V. So yeah, I think it's okay, especially if you can get it for a good deal. Let's check the VMAX here for you. So it was down to 163, went up a little bit. So last few sales are 181, 175, 197. See, to me, it's tough for me paying $200 for one of these cards because, I mean, there was a good amount of Champion's Path that was printed. I'm not sure the pop reports on these things either, but I don't know. The only reason why I do the Charizard V and like the Pikachu is because I think this is the best shiny Charizard, and I think, this is one of the best Pikachu cards we've ever gotten, and it's special because we don't always get a chase Pikachu that's that expensive, and it is extremely hard to pull. So yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I would do this Charizard at like 140, 150, nice near mint copy. Pikachu, I would love to get around 100. I'd probably even pay 120. Every time I see this Pikachu though in person, it's never mint. There's always just like a white mark or something really off-centered. But yeah, I've been hunting for it for a long time. My wife loves that card. But otherwise, yeah, a lot of these guys are pretty affordable. I mean, these are the chase cards for Rebel Clash, which is super expensive. Nobody's opening that. And they are starter rainbows. I do think Rainbow's going to have its day. Let's see if Cinderace has gone up at all. Yeah, it was 1280. It's going up right now. Last sold $17.98 near mint. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's okay if you can find that good deal because they were, 300 plus. Next, Eric Peterson, 9299. Hello, neighbor. I think they're from Wisconsin. I am getting things ready for card party. I'm curious to know, what would you do with the Lugia V from Silver Tempest? Sell or hold? It is a tough question though, because I don't know your situation. If you need money, of course, sell it. But let's see here. Last sold 217, 215, 255, 247. So a few good sales there. Like if it were me and I seen that, I might hold a little bit longer and see if we get a few more close to the 250. But I can't see this card being much over like $300, to be honest, especially with everything coming down a little bit right now. So, I mean, you're still getting a good amount of money. Let's see what we can get it shipped for near mint. 100%, 65 sales only, 210. So, not too bad. I'd probably hold a little bit just because it is going up. Once it, levels out, then you could possibly sell it. But I do have a feeling a lot of these alternarts are going to come down in price. So you got to be really on top of it and be ready and know exactly where to sell it and what to do. So, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to sell these cards, especially if they start coming down quick. All right, the next one we got is at Fiwishi. Also have Charizard V154 and Blaziken VMAX. Should I just sell them off now? So same thing. Let's check them, see what's going on. So Charizard's on his way down. 173, 180, 179. So yeah, it's tough because also I don't know what you paid for it. So, if you paid $100, you're making a little bit of profit. But again, I do have a feeling Charizard one day will be worth like $300. I just have a feeling, no idea when, could be years from now. Not a clue. Let's check the Blaziken. Looks like it's coming down a little bit. Was at 405. Last sold 395, 402. So it's still right around there. I mean, $400 for this card is pretty crazy. I could maybe see it getting to $500. Someone hyping it up a little bit, but I don't know. This might be max out. Let's see what we can get it shipped for. So 0% sales. Otherwise, we can get it shipped right now for $360. But again, you got to remember, that's no pictures. Most people do not want to spend $360 on a card they can't even see. So that's why they sit there like that. But I don't know. Those questions are always so tough because I don't know your situation. I don't know what you paid for it. But I don't know. I can't see it getting too much higher at all. So next, we got Space Ranger 117. Love the channel and these long form discussions. I listen to you on my car rides a lot. Random fun question here. What do you think the long-term gains would be on a PSA 10 Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames? I know it's not the most popular set. So when I looked this up, I was actually pretty surprised. The Charizard from Obsidian Flames in a PSA 10 is actually worth a good amount. So this has ended recently. I mean, all 200s, best offers, 222, 225. I was kind of surprised. I was thinking $150 because if you look at the Charizard raw, I mean, last sold 48, 56, 40. So I'm not sure how easy this card is to grade, but if you guys have this card and it looks nice and you're interested in maybe selling it, I would definitely get this thing graded. I was kind of shocked on the price for that PSA 10. And I actually do like the Paldean Fates Charizard more. So maybe more people are going to want that one. But I feel like they kind of go together too. If you want one, you might want the other. But yeah, I was kind of shocked on those PSA 10 prices already. So next question is from HSU Blue. Fairly new to collecting. Pulled my first chase card in TM Greninja EX. What do you think the long-term gains will be with him? Is he more LO, Giratina level, Evolving Skies Evolution, or standard $80 card? So realistically, he's probably going to be about an $80 to $100 card. He's not like, the best thing ever to happen for the TCG. I do love the art. Get rid of the crown, and this card is top tier. And I have seen this card in person. It really, really pops in person. Last sold 184, 159, 173, 160. So prices are, kind of all over the place right now. Yeah, it's tough to say, but yeah, I think it's going to be back down to a $100 card. Not sure when. So yeah, just watch it like a hawk. If you list it, maybe list it a little bit higher, hope for the best, take really, really good pictures. Otherwise, I can't really see it being like a $300 card or anything like that, but I could be wrong. I just haven't heard anybody, not one person, say they love the crowns. I don't know if you guys have. Let me know in the comments if you have. but I haven't heard anybody say that yet. So next question, Zach Smith 4913. I've been looking into purchasing either a Lost Origin Build and Battle case or a Charizard UPC. What would be the best bang for my buck? It's tough now because the Charizard UPC just went up. We got the Lost Origin Build and Battle box display. I'm guessing that's what you're talking about because they're pretty similar in price. So 3 months ago it was 164, and I mean it's only 171. But we do have one sale at 209, 160. Let's see what the year is here. 150 was probably the low. So you get 10 of these. Now, let's say it's $20 a box. That's 200. So at 160, 167, I feel like that'd be okay. Because now for the Charizard UPC, I mean, 139, 149, 134. There are so many people that have this Charizard UPC that paid 80 to 120. So you're coming in pretty late on this one. I mean, we got the $94 on TCG Player, and I remember people getting it for like $80 on TikTok. So you're coming in super late on that. And on this one, you're not overpaying too much. I mean, the 150 was the year low. So if you can get it for 160 something, that's not too bad. And it is a solid deal if you think about it, because these are going to be worth at least, you know, $20. I think Evolving Skies right now is worth like $60. So it's okay. I'd do the Lost Origin Build and Battle box display if it were me. Next question is from Diplomatic Disgusting 965. Hey man, I'm looking for a Greavard 214 198 PSA 10 English, the one laying on a Gengar mat. I can't find any on any market. Any idea where I could find this? So yeah, it's pretty tough. I looked. I found some sold listings. So someone got one right here for 45. Someone got one right here for 79. But it was May 1st and April 20th. So you can type this into eBay and save the search, and you'll actually get an email when one pops up. So that's what I would recommend doing. Otherwise, I mean, it's a relatively cheap card. If you really need it, maybe go out and buy some raw cards, send them into PSA. So, you know, you might do that option too. Next question is from James F6856. Great video as always. I just got back a PSA return with Charizard V Alt-Art from Brilliant Stars in a PSA 10. Would you sell or hold? And just so you know too, I basically keep everything. If it were me, you know, I'm a collector. If I got this card, I'd be keeping it. I love this Charizard card. I'm still one of the few, I feel like, that still loves Charizard. I chased him for years. You know, like literally 20 years I've been hunting all these Charizard cards. And having Venusaur in there is top tier because I actually love Blastoise and Venusaur just as much as Charizard, probably even a little more. So Blastoise is actually my favorite. He is definitely overused, I will admit that. But so is Gardevoir and Mew. You know, they got just as many cards almost as Charizard does. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, if I had this card right now, I would probably hold it. But all the alt arts right now, I feel like are coming down in price a little bit. So I could see this card coming back down to $250. The last sold was $294. Before that was $329, $325. So technically the last sale was below $300. I mean, with shipping right at $300. Yeah, it's tough to say. All right, next question. Logan Go, love your content. Do you think now is a good time to pick up Japanese Moonbreon Alt-Art PSA 10? Well, that card is still very expensive. I mean, these are the last sold prices here, $1,426, $1,924, $1,600. In my opinion, you know, I don't like buying when stuff is at the absolute top. I have missed out. I've said this many times. I have missed out quite a few times, you know, on some grails. But again, I don't ever really lose money. So, I don't know. I'm always rather safe than sorry. But it's kind of up to you. It was going down a little bit, I think. Yeah, it's just so hard for me to recommend for people to buy stuff at the top because I never do that. So, next, Johnny Ninja YT. What is your opinion on the Charizard and Reshiram, Pikachu, and Zekrom GX premium collection boxes? They seem to have pretty cool promos and also good pack selections. Love your videos, by the way. Thank you. All right, we're going to start off with the Pikachu box. Now, great box. I love the promos. 10 packs. Great pack selection. So the low was 53. The high now 61, but the last few sales are 68, 69, 60. We got a 2 for 55 there. 3 at 56. So it looks like you can get it for $55. Very, very solid deal. And I feel like that's an okay price for this box. Like for what you're really getting. Now the Reshiram run with Charizard, a little more expensive. So, it's been going up pretty good. Let's check that year. It was $85 before. The low was 76. Last few sales, 82, 78, 82, 75, 83. So, wow. So the low is $76, huh? So it looks like if you can find it for $75, that's a good deal. But in my opinion, I'd probably just buy the Pikachu one. I want more of these, but yeah, I'd probably just stick with the Pikachu one for now because it's such a good deal. I mean, it's basically the same box. It's just, Charizard and Reshiram and Pikachu and Zekrom. And I feel like, honestly, Pikachu is probably a little more popular right now than Charizard. So that's what I would do. And I am personally buying these. If I see these in person for those prices, I'd pick it up. All right, next question. It's from Yuck Nasty. I have a Rayquaza VMAX 218 and I am not a fan of the card. Should I sell it now and pick up some alts I believe have legs to grow? Or does this Ray VMAX alt have some more growth to it? 500 is break even and the card is perfect. But I'm not going to slab a card that increases price by 100 to 150 bucks. Love the channel. Thank you. All right, let's check it out. Rayquaza just had a crazy little boom. Let's check these prices. So 527, 595, 523, 523. But if you look a little bit further, look at that. 700, 669, 659, 650, 650. Someone was clearly trying to hype this card up. But looks like it leveled out a little over $500. It's a solid card. I totally understand if you do not like it. I feel like now would be a good time to sell it. And I know you said you're not really interested in grading it if it only gains you $100 to $150, but you did say it's perfect. So let's say if it is perfect, you could always grade it with Beckett. The last sold Beckett 10, not even a black label, sold for $1,325. So if you really look at the card and it is truly beautiful, you can't really see anything wrong with it, it might be worth going to Beckett. Because worst case scenario, you don't get the grade you want, you can crack it, and it's just the same raw card you already have. So that's another solid option. Same with CGC. If you get that pristine 10, it's worth more. So you never know. It's not just always PSA. You could always try Beckett, especially if it is perfect. If you really think it's not perfect, it might not even be worth trying. Then you might just want to do it raw. But yeah, I mean, the card is pretty expensive. And we already seen a little hype up, like you've seen sales $600, $700, $800, and it went right back down to $500. So I feel like $500 is pretty solid for that card. Next, Jenny O'Hare 2475. What do you think about Fusion Strike? Should I invest? Love your vids. And now the next question is from Chris Scab 5005. Should I buy a case of Fusion Strike right now, or should I take that same amount of money and buy cases of Temporal, Paradox, and Paldea? Let's check Fusion Strike here. So a box of Fusion Strike, pretty expensive. Let's see what we can get it shipped for on TCG Player. $235. So, and that's the last few sales. $235, $225, $234. To me, that's a little expensive. But again, is it expensive when this box becomes a $700 box one day? No idea when that could happen, but it could easily be a $700 box. Evolving Skies is $700 right now. Once Evolving Skies hits $1,500, this could easily be $700. So yeah, if it were me, honestly, and I really wanted to get something Fusion Strike, I'd maybe take my chance on a box or two. But again, you can still get the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes in stock for, I think, $49.99. That's probably what I would do and just take the loss on the booster boxes. But again, I always go safe than sorry. You could buy this box and it could be $700, like I said. You never know. So it's tough, but I do love Fusion Strike. If you look at all the Sword and Shield Alternate Art sets, it's basically the main set besides Evolving Skies that has like the most older Pokemon, Gen 1, Gen 2 stuff. So top tier set. Pull rates aren't the best, but no Sword and Shield set pull rate is really, really good, except for like Crown Zenith and like Celebrations and stuff. But yeah, Fusion Strike is very solid. But at $240 a box, it's getting a little expensive for me. Next, Turbo Fish. What's your prediction for the next set? Think it will be any good? Well, let's take a little peek here. So Night Wanderer, these are all the cards that were revealed. We're on Poke Beach right now. We got some solid cards here. We'll take a little peek, go through them here. I love this Houndoom card. I like it so much more than the Trainer Gallery. I'm liking they got a good mix. Pokemon, all different generations. Very happy with the illustration rares, but here's the thing. I'm always happy with the illustration rares. They've all been great for every set. So I'm never really worried about the illustration rares. I'm worried about the special illustration rares. And to be honest, not the biggest fan of these so far. We're almost there. All right, here we go. So here's one. Let me know what you guys think down below. Not bad. I don't hate them. I actually like these more than the Ogerpon SIRs. So there's that. And these are the Loyal 3. And these guys are in the new DLC for Pokemon. But yeah, I'm surprised they went with all these weird angles close up. I don't know. I might have to see these in person. But so far, I don't love them. To me, this almost doesn't feel like a special illustration rare for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like this could be just a regular full art. I don't know. Let's see. This card's pretty sick. I'm not a big trainer guy, but pretty cool looking card. Check the golds. Golds. Yeah. I don't know. It is tough. So like I said, you know, of course, the illustration rares top tier. They always are. But so far, these special illustration rares aren't really sticking out to me too much. Hopefully we get a little more. I mean, we only got 4 here, like for Pokemon. So hopefully we get a couple more that aren't just pure Generation 9 or, you know, I don't know. I feel like this art is just a little strange. But yeah, it's just my opinion. We'll see when the rest of the set comes out. Next question. Now we got multiple of these. So this is from Mr. Master Set. Definitely go check out his channel. He just started. High quality videos. Super nice guy. Hey, Pokebeard, your What If Wednesdays are my favorite weekly videos you make. I really appreciate that because these are actually way harder to make than my other videos. These take me all day long. So really nice to get your experience answers to all these questions. My first question, what do you think about the new Team Rocket trademark announcement? Also, I don't want to know how much I've spent either. Same, brother, same. And Michael Ramsey 6357, with the Team Rocket set announced for Scarlet and Violet, how crazy do we think it's going to be? I think it's going to be nuts. I am very excited to see this, especially, you know, special illustration rares. It's definitely going to be probably some older Pokemon. I have a feeling this could potentially be bigger than 151, especially if they, you know, do a lot of Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, and it's not just, you know, pure Gen 1, since we already got that. But I love it. I mean, every card on this page I actually own. So very solid. I love just seeing the mean versions, and I'm so excited to see these mean versions in a special illustration rare. So yeah, super, super excited. I think it's going to be massive. But let's see, do we have any information on this? Same terms as trademarks used for sets names in the past. The glory of Team Rocket is obviously referencing Team Rocket and could release early next year. Could we see the return of Dark Pokemon? I really, really hope so. It says Dark Pokemon were first introduced in 2000's Team Rocket set. They were reintroduced in 2002's Neo Destiny and 2004's EX Team Rocket Returns. We also received an English exclusive Dark Sylveon V promo alongside a 2021 Celebrations. Yeah, like I said, huge fan. And it'd also be sweet too if they gave love to each generation. Just imagine a set like that. Like, let's say if we got 2 special illustration rares from each generation. Something like that would just be absolutely wild. You'd for sure have at least a card or 2 for each person in Pokemon, which I think would be awesome. But yeah, I cannot wait till we get some more information on that. All right, next question. It's from Jilly424. I got a serious question. I need your advice about Sword and Shield Alt-Arts. What do you think in the long run? Now seems like the bubbles pop. Will it go down like Sun and Moon in the long run? So I've actually used that example a bunch, the Sun and Moon Alt-Arts, how they all went crazy for a while. They were the hottest thing. And then boom, they started going down. Some of them are still doing great, but a lot of them came down a little bit. Not a ton, you know, $25, $50, or maybe $100 for those really big ones. So that's what I think what will happen with Alt-Arts too. I think a few will keep going up, come down a little bit, keep going up, come down a little bit. But a lot of them will come down, you know, I could see another $50 to $100. So I say it all the time too, when something gets hyped up, 99% of the time it comes down. You just never know how much or when it's going to happen. Next question is from Winston1604. Hey, I'm a brand new collector, haven't opened a pack in 20 years, and I'm wondering your thoughts on opening a brand new Japanese 151 booster box I got for very low. I want to open it because I really don't have any cards that I collect, and I love the original Pokemon, but I do know the value will go up in time, so I'm conflicted. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's tough. Realistically, you have not opened any Pokemon cards in 20 years. I'd probably open some Pokemon cards if I were you. If anything, it's just going to get you more into it. And with these boxes getting so cheap, we're getting another reprint. These boxes are going to get even cheaper. It's going to be a couple years probably before you really see any profit in the Japanese 151 booster box. But it is a great box to hold long term. Like, no joke, 5-10 years down the road, I think it is going to be a very, very good box. But if you got it cheap, it is a super, super fun box. There's some grails in there. Every box has one reverse hollow Master Ball. So that's super fun to chase. So you never know, you might open the box and get hooked and want to complete the set. It would be a pretty fun set to complete. It'd be very hard, especially if you wanted all the Master Balls. But if you don't really care that much about opening, you might just want to keep it sealed. But again, you know, it's been 20 years. You might have some fun. All right, next question is from @HarrisonHitton4859. If you had been holding Evolving Skies since day one at below MSRP, would you lock in the profits, keep holding, or buy more at today's prices? First of all, congratulations. And honestly, a lot of times, like, if you want to be smart, you really should probably sell when you make a ton of profit and invest it in something else. That's probably the smartest thing to do. But again, if it were me, I'd just keep it because I keep everything. But yeah, it's tough because, I mean, you made a good amount of money. But again, Evolving Skies, we know how special Evolving Skies is. Are you going to be mad at yourself when this box is $2,000-$3,000 5-10 years down the road? Not saying that's a guarantee, but it's possible. It really, really is possible. The set is, it's not even arguably the best set. It is the best set. Not the best set to open, but it is the most stacked set. And with actually having tougher pull rates, I think that's actually good for long terms because most people aren't opening those super old boxes anyways, and it makes the cards a lot more rare. Even though, you know, there's thousands of Umbreons. There's way more people that want Umbreon than there is Umbreons. So, yeah. If it was anything but Evolving Skies, I would definitely be like, yeah, for sure, sell it, you know, take the profit. But just because it is Evolving Skies, and it is special, very, very special, and I feel like it has a very, very good chance of going crazy one day. So I'm leaning a little bit more towards keeping, but, you know, like, smart investors do sell, you know, when stuff gets high, and then they buy when it gets low. So either way, I mean, you're going to make good money, but I really think Evolving Skies is going to be just a grail one day, an absolute grail. All right, next question. Ashley's Towers 4887. If you were to build a master set from Scarlet and Violet, which one would you choose besides 151? Do you think the sets are liquid once built? So I've mentioned this kind of before. I don't think master sets are really worth it nowadays. I mean, 151 being a little bit smaller set, different story. Crown Zenith, smaller set, different story. Celebration, same thing. But you're spending a lot of money on just full art EXs and maybe some trainers, stuff you might not really like. Now, let's say you love everything, then yes, a master set is great. And if I had to choose one, I mean, Paldea Evolve is going to be kind of expensive now, but everybody knows how special that set is. And having all the starters and the new legendaries, I think that would be the best set to complete. Otherwise, I think Paradox Rift is going to be a sleeper set. Super cool. And a lot of people like the shiny sets too, Paldean Fates. And two, I've sold a lot of full complete sets. They're kind of hard to sell. You know, there's not that many people. People like, you know, opening packs, getting stuff, and then buying singles to complete their set. Not too many people are just dropping, you know, a couple grand on a completed set. Especially a newer set too, that you can just open the boxes and pull the cards. So yeah, I don't know. If it were me, that's why I just collect special illustration rares and illustration rares. That's what I like right now for Modern, so that's what I collect. And then for Sword and Shield, I collect, you know, all the alternate arts and Crown Zenith and Celebrations. And then for Sun and Moon, I did all the tag team alt arts. You know, like I collect crystal cards. I collect the legend cards, gold stars. And then for super vintage stuff, that's where I do the completed sets. I have a ton of completed sets for the first 3 generations, but I think it's a little different then because we didn't get nearly as many sets. And we don't have as many Pokemon. So a lot of these cards, that's the only Pokemon card of that Pokemon. So it's a little different. Yeah, hopefully that helped out a little bit. Next, Kasha0211. I have a collection of Sword and Shield alt arts. I only need 12 more to have all of them, but only one is graded. Is it worth to get the rest graded? Some have pretty bad centering though. If it were me, I wouldn't. I mean, unless you're trying to sell them all, then you might want to do that. But if it's for your collection, it's going to drive you nuts. I mean, at least it would drive me nuts having a bunch of 8s, 9s, 10s, and then, you know, you're spending a bunch of money on graded cards when you could spend all the money you're going to spend on grading those cards. They could buy you another alternate art. Because if you're not going to sell it, it doesn't need to be in a slab. You can buy nice cases for it and stuff. Like, there's a lot of different options now that are a lot cheaper than getting your cards graded. But yeah, if you're going to sell, you might want to get your cards graded. Maybe not the ones that are crazy off-centered. But yeah, I've done that before. I've gotten cards that I wasn't planning on selling graded that just make me so mad now because there's a spot in my binder missing. So I try not to do that. Next question is from a member. I really, really appreciate you. It's from John Heitkamp 4792. How do you know when it's time to sell on long time holds for booster boxes and singles? Thanks. Yeah, super tough question. It just kind of depends on what you paid for it. Like, let's say you bought a box for $100. You just got to think of the number you'd be happy to sell it at, you know? Like, are you happy 5 times in your money? You know, would you sell it for $600 a box and make $500 in profit? I think that's a solid price, you know, stuff like that. It's got to be worth it to you, the amount of money. If it's not worth it, you might as well just sit on it just for the chance that it keeps going up in value. That's what I do. Cards are a little bit different story, though. When stuff gets super hyped up, you know, now might be the time to sell it. Like, the only card that I've ever got screwed on so far was the Umbreon VMAX. That is the only card that I pulled on release and I sold for $550 or whatever it was that is now worth more. And I mean, it's worth like $300 more right now. So that's the only time I've ever been screwed on selling a card on pre-release. Otherwise, every single time I've made a lot of money. And I've done that a bunch for Scarlet and Violet too. Like, we pulled a Tulip card. That was a $100 card. It's $7 now. Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, I always like to sell when it's high for cards, especially if they're not in my collection. You know, it's different if it's in my collection, then I don't care. I'll just keep it forever. But yeah, it's tough to say. It just kind of depends on how much money you really want to make. You know, if there's a 10% chance this box is $2,000 down the road, but you can make $500 right now, like, is it worth it? You just kind of got to think like that. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Next question is from Alan Wheeler 5937. Great video. I love these. What do you think about investing in PSA 9s? I know they will never have the value of 10s, but they are still nice copies. Also, do you like PSA 9s over CGC 10s? So my OCD says, yes, I like CGC 10s over 9s, but I do like PSA a little more than CGC. It's tough. And then too, investing in PSA 9s, like, I feel like it's okay for maybe higher value cards, because worst case scenario, you know, it's basically just a raw card. You know, even PSA 8s, like, I've been thinking about getting a PSA 8 Giratina V for my binder because, you know, good enough for me. So stuff like that, I feel like it'd be okay. But if you're doing cheaper cards or just collecting PSA 9s, you're not going to have nearly as many people who want that on the secondary market. So for cheaper cards, I definitely try to stick to 10s. And a lot of people are going to love CGC. It's doing great. I mean, a CGC Pristine is blowing PSA 10 out of the water. And that happened pretty quickly. So those CGC 10s, though, the basic 10s, I don't know. It's tough. They're not quite as good. So yeah, I do think there is a market for PSA 9s and stuff like that, and PSA 8s even. Next question is from Cosmic. Is it better to focus on finishing my Sword and Shield trainer galleries at the moment, mainly missing V and VMAX, even after they've kind of started to rise a lot at the moment, or should I pivot to picking up illustrations and special illustrations before they start to explode like the trainer galleries did? Well, a ton of special illustration rares and illustration rares are already starting to go up. The Altaria is going up. The Chiyu's going up. A bunch of them are already going up. And there actually are a good amount of trainer galleries that have only gone up $1 or $2. I just made a big tier list where we gone through the price of every trainer gallery, so you might want to check that out. But if it's only gone up $1 or $2 for trainer galleries or even illustration rares or special illustration rares, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you're not going to lose a ton of money or anything. But yeah, I would just buy whatever isn't hyped up right now and just be patient on the rest of the stuff, because stuff is just super weird right now with this market. Bunch of people right now are just hyping random things up. So Yeah, I'm also collecting all that stuff too, so I'm right there with you. Next question is from Alex Merlo 6468, another banger. Thank you. Question, do you think every gen should get a set like 151 drop once a year? That'd be sweet. But yeah, doing, 151 this year and then doing 251 next year, I think it'd be super, super fun. And then that way everybody, gets at least one set of the generation they love. Because not everybody loves generation 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is. So yeah, I like that idea. Next, Oscar Montano 5236. Love your content. Always great to see that notification on YouTube. My local card shop has a few boxes of Paldea Evolved booster boxes for $99 each, and also boxes of Scarlet and Violet base for $89. I do own a few Paldea Evolved booster boxes already. Should I keep getting Paldea Evolved or change it up a bit and get some Scarlet and Violet? Again, great content. Now, I do like Scarlet and Violet, but if you're getting Paldea Evolved for that cheap, I would just keep buying Paldea Evolved. Like, no joke, even though you got a few, once it's $500 a box, not saying it's guaranteed to do that, but let's say if it's $500 a box, you're really going to wish you had more. So it'd be different, if it wasn't Paldea Evolved, if it was other sets, different story. But yeah, Paldea Evolved at that price, I would just keep buying that till you get, 10 boxes or whatever you can do. And then from there, possibly start getting some Scarlet and Violet base, some Paradox Rift, try to get like 3 of each of those at least, stuff like that. But yeah, if you can get it for that price, keep up on that one. Next, Non-Adaworld 641. Damn, this popped up on my notifications in seconds. That's because I'm the only one on Pokemon YouTube who posts at 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, and this is the last question. Do you love having YouTube as a career, and what is your opinion about Pokemon TCG? Yeah, YouTube is a blast. The only thing that really sucks is like editing. I know a lot of the big guys have their own editors and stuff, but I do it all myself, as you can probably tell. But it's super, super fun, and it's crazy to just interact with everybody. That's why I like commenting back to everybody. I think it's super, super fun. And then too, I really appreciate you guys letting me do my ads for my sponsors. That really helps because YouTube doesn't pay a whole lot, honestly. The sponsors really, really help. That's why I try to get good sponsors. So at least it's not just a complete waste of your time. These are all great, businesses and stuff like that. So again, I really, really appreciate that so much. And I think the Pokemon TCG is in a great spot right now. I do wish they gave a little more variety in the sets. Totally fine with half the special illustration rares being Gen 9, and then the other half giving us a few, just like they did with Paradox Rift. I think that is like the perfect set. But yeah, that was today's What If Wednesday. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be featured in next week's video. And again, too, I'm going to be a little behind with Card Party, so please just keep dropping your questions down below and I will eventually get to it, I promise. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It really, really means a lot. And again, not saying I know everything. This is just my personal opinion. I just like talking some stuff out. And I know Pokemon is very overwhelming. I think a lot of people in the hobby that have been in it forever forget how overwhelming it is. We have over 1,000 Pokemon, 9 generations, hundreds of sets. It's tough. Plenty of reprints too. I mean, so many cards look the same that are different sets. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you want to check out my last Market Monday, watch this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.